Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of X Talking Ish with your boy X. And unfortunately, this morning, no ish, but it's all good. We're going to get through this week 16 pregame show with or without him. And I know he'll be on Tuesday here to recap week 16. So let's go ahead and get right into it. If you are on Facebook, please make sure you like and share this broadcast. If you're on our Facebook page, go ahead and hit that like button. Same thing with YouTube. Go ahead and hit that red subscribe button and that notification bell so you can be notified for shows like this one in the future. And as well, check us out on X/Twitter/ whatever you want to call it, on Periscope at XTalknIsh, and as well on my personal page at X_Williams81. I'm about to go ahead and retweet it right now, my personal page. Bada bing, bada boom, it is done. So again, no excuses on why you can't check out week 16 pregame show here on X Talking Ish. As you guys can see, it's an early Christmas Eve morning. I am wearing my bluey shirt because it is my daughter's birthday party in about a couple of hours. So I have the dad duties for today, and I'm wearing my bluey shirt. My wife will have her bluey shirt. It's a bluey themed birthday party. So hopefully everything goes as well. Hopefully my daughter is going to enjoy herself. So that's what we have over here in this household. But enough of that. We know why you guys came here. You guys that came to check out week 16 and the slate that we have for Sunday. Now, obviously, there were games on Thursday, games on yesterday. There will be games on today, and there will be 3 games on Sunday. I'm sorry, on Monday as well for Christmas. So it won't be just basketball being played on Christmas. There will be a couple of football games. So you're more welcome to flip back and forth. I know I will be at home doing not a damn thing but watching sports and probably getting jumped on by my kids. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get right into the ticket things. Let's start off with the Browns and the Texans here in Houston. This game here is the battle of the backups. You have, of course, Case Keenum backing up C.J. Stroud, unfortunately, with his concussion situation and being concussion protocol. Then you have Joe Flacco. And before the season started, this was the game that I circled on the calendar. I wanted to attend this game. I actually had tickets to this game. Unfortunately, I just wasn't able to go because I wanted to see Deshaun Watson's return back to Houston. I was excited about the hype, the hoopla, what could happen, how the Houston fan base was going to embrace him or not embrace him, whatever was going to happen. I wanted to be a part of that. Unfortunately, we don't get that today. But that doesn't mean we won't be able to see some good football. I think this is actually going to be a very competitive game. I think the Browns overall are just a better team, especially without C.J. Stroud. That's really the main focal point when it comes to why the Texans are playing so well is because of C.J. Stroud, right? So without him, I'm not saying the Texans can't win. It's just a lot more difficult to do so without C.J. Stroud. So right now, I have the Browns winning this game on the road. They are a 3-point favorite. Unless the Texans can find a way to capitalize on some Joe Flacco mistakes, because he's been playing some pretty solid ball since he's joined the Browns, it could get real ugly real fast for the Texans. Again, I don't think it's going to happen so quickly, but the Texans have to find a way to turn on the ball over against the Browns. Because if the Browns go up, they're just going to run the ball, run the clock out, and this game will be over in the second half before it even started. But overall, I expect the Texans to play competitively. I expect them to play hard. And if they're able to do that, cause some turnovers in the fourth quarter, they probably will have an opportunity to find a way to maybe steal this game from the Browns. So we'll see how that game goes out. Commanders versus Jets, not a sexy matchup at all. It is what it is. I'm not even going to sugarcoat this. Just going to go ahead and move along with this one. Got the Commanders winning this game, even though the Jets, again, some flashes you play well, some flashes you don't. Last week, you beat the Texans 30-0. It's just one of those things where we don't know what Jet team we're going to get. And if it ain't Aaron Rodgers at the quarterback position, I really don't care who is going to be quarterbacking this Jets team. I just know I don't have any faith in them if it's not Aaron Rodgers. Yes, the defense is superb. Yes, the defense is maybe Super Bowl caliber type of defense, but that offense is what it is. So these are the last couple of weeks for most likely Ron Rivera. Speaking of the Commanders, for Ron Rivera to be the head coach for the Commanders. Rumbling, writing on the wall, whatever you want to call it, most likely seems as though that Ron Rivera will be moving on from the Commanders after this season. So hopefully this team plays hard for Ron Rivera. I think that's another reason why they go ahead and get this win on the road. At the moment, the Jets are a 3-point favorite, which kind of surprised me because, again, what have the Jets really done this year to get them that 3-point favorite? Let's go ahead and start off with the Seahawks and the Titans. Now, the interesting thing about this game, if you've noticed the last two games that I've mentioned, they've been 3-point spreads, right? We go into another 3-point spread, and this is kind of the theme of this day when it comes to these games. Vegas is expecting for these games to be very tight. So take it how you want to. This Seahawks and Titans game, for the most part, it's obviously the game is more for the Seahawks to win this game for playoff implications. For the Titans, they are eliminated. So at this point, it's just for pride and for also if you're one of those guys that might not be guaranteed a roster spot next year, you also might be auditioning for another team to maybe pick you up in the offseason or sometime next year. So for everybody, go out there, be professional, go do your job, go do what you're supposed to do. The interesting thing about the Titans as well, besides Ryan Tannehill being back as the starter, there's a lot of question marks regarding Derrick Henry, especially with the comments he made last week after being eliminated, at the Titans being eliminated from playoffs. This seems like this is going to be Derrick Henry's last go with the Tennessee Titans. Be interesting to see what he does next because I'm assuming he still wants to play. The question is where and what offense suits him and his running style. Unfortunately for Derrick, he's not really a running back that you can just plug and play, where you can just throw into any offense and he's going to succeed. He needs a certain type of offensive scheme, and wouldn't surprise me at all if he finds a way to end up in San Francisco. Yeah, I know that sounds crazy, but that's the type of offensive scheme that kind of fits him, that stretch offense. Maybe the Lions, but they already have their two running back system, and Derrick Henry's not going to be a third running back on anybody's roster. So be interesting to see how this all plays out for Derrick Henry and the Titans. We'll talk more about that, of course, in the offseason, but most likely this will be Derrick Henry's last go with the Tennessee Titans this year. All right, another game, another 3-point spread. Like I said in the beginning of the beginning of the last segment, when it comes to a lot of close games this Sunday, again, Vegas is expecting it. I'm kind of am expecting it because of the matchups that we have. Some of these matchups, again, are playoff implications. Some of these matchups are just for pride. So when it comes to this Colts and Falcons game, the Falcons still have an opportunity to win the division. The Colts, again, they have an opportunity to win their division as well, too. Even with the Jaguars playing the way they're playing up and down, the Texans, they have an opportunity to still win the division as well, too. So I expect this game to be very competitive. And for Gardner Minshew, I expect a guy like Gardner Minshew to step up and perform the way that I'm pretty sure the Colts know that he's capable of doing. So for this game, I do have the Colts winning it. The Falcons playing at home actually play really well, mainly when Desmond Ridder surprisingly was the starting quarterback. At one point in time, he was undefeated, had a couple of L's throughout this season. So I think he's about like 8-2 at home as a starting quarterback. Well, Taylor Heineke is now the starting quarterback. So we'll see how this all plays out. The Falcons, Saints, and probably the whole NFC South division besides the Panthers have been a box of chocolate teams for me because I just don't know what I'm going to get from these teams week in and week out. For the Colts, they kind of are in that same group when it comes to I don't know what I'm going to get, but I do know that I'm going to get a little bit more from the Colts than I am from the Falcons. That's the only reason why I'm really picking the Colts is because I know for sure Garner's going to throw for 200-something yards. He might throw a pick, but he's going to slam that thing. And for the Falcons, I know for sure you're not going to find a way to utilize Kyle Pitts. So, again, for me, it just seems pretty easy. I'm going to go ahead and pick the Colts for now. Shout out to Big X. He says, come to Baltimore. Colts definitely going to put up a fight. I definitely agree on you with that one there. So, see how that game plays out. Let's go ahead and move to I call it the pushing P game. We got the Packers and the Panthers here playing against one another. And we all know, of course, how bad the Panthers have been this season. The Packers, per se, this season has been Jordan Love's audition tape all season long. I think he's performed very well for a guy that has to sit for a little over 3 years to be able to come in and was only throwing 11 interceptions. I know that seems like a high number, double digits. I got that. But again, first-year starter, I'm not mad at it. I think he's been able to play well when they need him. I think he's also played bad when that's a part of being a young quarterback. And I like how the Packers haven't really blasted him through the media, haven't really done anything coaching-wise. Matt LaFleur hasn't really done anything to mess up his confidence as a young quarterback. So to watch his development and growth throughout the season has been very refreshing for the Packers and Jordan Love. Obviously, going from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers, now Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love. It'd be interesting really to see what are the Packers going to do with Jordan Love. I know I keep repeating myself when it comes to what's going to happen in the offseason, but and again, I know they also have signed him to an extension, but that does not always guarantee that you are going to be somewhere for an extended period of time, because next year, again, you're on that contract year now because your contract has gotten extended and you're not performing the way that you should. Who's there to say that the Packers say, all right, well, let's go ahead and move on and go get another quarterback, either in the draft or maybe a free agent, or you get a veteran, or whatever what they want to do. Because with the Packers and teams like the Steelers, they've done things for such a long time and their way for such a long time. If they are trying to get out of that norm, it's going to be very hard to figure out what exactly the position and route they're trying to take with this quarterback position. So I think we're all on the same boat in regards of what the Packers are going to do with Jordan Love. Maybe Jordan Love trying to figure out the same thing when it comes to what's going to happen with me in Green Bay. Big X says, yep, going with the Packers by 14. All right, you heard him here on XTalknIsh. Packers by 14. Lions, Vikings will stay in the NFC North. Now, if this was Kirk O'Baines and Kirk O'Chains, I might have picked the Vikings to take care of business at home against the Lions, but Lions are just they're trying to make sure that they don't go into the postseason with a little bit of a stumble. 10-4 at the moment. If you are remotely any type of Lions fan, you should be ecstatic and happy that you're hitting the 10-game mark this early in the season with 3 games left to go, right? So at this point, if you are a Lions fan, it's not so much about trying to get certain seeding. It's about making sure that everybody's healthy, everybody's ready to go, and mentally everybody is clear, focused, and ready to perform when you do play at home and host that playoff game. At the moment, if things stood and the playoffs were to start right now, let's see, the Lions would play the Rams. Yes. And I remember, of course, everybody on social media talking about that. Ironically, Matt Stafford would travel back to Detroit and would have to face off against his old team. And how ironic would that be if Matt Stafford goes into Detroit and is able to beat the Detroit Lions? I mean, that right there in itself, you just cannot script this any better for football. I honestly hope that it happens. I don't know if it will, just depending on wins and losses for the rest of the season. The Rams maybe could stay. They really could stay because Detroit probably is not moving from that third position unless the Cowboys find a way to lose and Detroit's still winning and they go up to 2. So I don't expect the Rams to drop to the 7th seed. So this really could, if everything lines up for the next 3 weeks, this could be something on Jared Goff's and Matt Stafford's mind for the next 3 to 4 weeks or so if they do end up playing one another. So that'd be very interesting. We'll see how this all plays out. Big X says, man, this is a hard game to call. I wouldn't be surprised on the Vikings upset. Dobbs still Vikings quarterback. So this is why I tell everybody all the time, you can't be quick to react to some people's performances for going out there for throwing 250 yards, 300 yards, game-winning drives, whatever it is, young player, first-year player, first game, whatever it is. Dobbs has been a good, serviceable quarterback since Tennessee, his college days, but he has never been the guy. Even when he was a quarterback for the Tennessee Titans, and he played well. He played well enough to be able to win us that game, and that or not even win. I'm sorry, he didn't win us the game to put us in position to maybe win. But other than that, he's been this guy since his Pittsburgh days, since the Browns days. I mean, the Cardinals days, the Vikings. I mean, he's a good quarterback, but it's a reason why now he's the third string quarterback on that roster. So obviously the Dobbs magic has worn off. No disrespect to Dobbs. Hopefully he finds another opportunity somewhere else. But I was never expecting for him to be the Viking starter moving forward next season, whatever it is, because he's just not that guy. I mean, he's a guy that's a rocket scientist that's playing football that in 60 years from now, when he's telling his grandkids that he's able to build rockets, he can also tell them that I played NFL football, as a quarterback, and they're going to look at him like he's crazy. And he could be like, look, I got the film right here to prove it. So that's the type of story I see with Josh Dobbs. Like, this is going to be one of them situations where he can tell kids and grandkids these great stories and things of that nature. But Dobbs' future is in aerodynamics, my boy, is in NASA, is in all those things that he's trying to go out and go see space. That boy ain't worried about no football like that. So anyways, great guy, good football player, probably even better astronaut. We'll see you on the other side. Jacksonville, Tampa Bay, Battle of Florida here without Miami. We'll talk about them Miami in a little bit, but this is for, I guess, the top part of Florida. We'll call it that, the Battle of the northern part of Florida. This one, honestly, for me, was probably the hardest game to call because the way the Buccaneers have been playing, especially with the emergence of Rashee Rice out here balling as well at the running back position. Jacksonville had been sliding a little bit, and I'm very hesitant on what they can do moving forward because it seems like, and I could be wrong, but it seems like some of this momentum that they had in the first half of the season is kind of wearing down. They've been kind of up and down all season long, and it is what it is for them. But they are 8-6 at the moment, have an opportunity to put 9 wins on the board if they're able to win this game. But also, there's some rumblings going on in Tampa Bay and giving another contract to Baker Mayfield for next season. If Baker's able to get that contract signed, sealed, and delivered right now, who knows? He might go out there and throw for 304 touchdowns today. So that's why I'm kind of worried about how this game is going to go because I do have Jacksonville winning this game, even though it's technically on the road. I mean, it's in Florida, so I don't really consider it too much on the road, just down the street for the most part. So I think Jacksonville could find a way to pull off, and even though they are the favorite, I think it's going to be an upset because this game really could be even. It really could be Bucks -1, but I got the Jaguars winning this game, and wouldn't surprise me at all if the Buccaneers win by 20 points. I'm just being honest on that game. You might not want to follow me on that game. I'm just being completely honest because I don't know what's going to happen with that one. Now, this game, though, I feel like I might know a little bit what's going to happen with this game. We got Cowboys, Dolphins, Miami 2-point favorite at home. Yes, right now you probably might want to say the Cowboys are a better overall team, and I wouldn't disagree with you. But I do like how the Dolphins are trying to figure this thing out, especially without Tyreek Hill last week as well. And both teams are coming into this game 10-4. I'm gonna go with the upset here. Again, I know Miami's the favorite. I know Miami's at home, but I think a lot of people assume that the Cowboys are gonna win this game. I'm looking at the matchup predictor here, and it's literally 50-50. I mean, this is really a toss-up game between both of these teams, to where obviously it can go either way. So we'll see how this one goes. I think this is one of those games where everybody's expecting a lot of fireworks, a lot of touchdowns and points. But it definitely could be the opposite. Really could be maybe the defense playing a bigger role in this game than we expect. And it might not be a 30-30 shootout. It might just be 20-something points between both teams. Let's check out the over-under for this game just to see where Vegas might feel as though the point total will be. Over-under is 48.5. So, again, I'm thinking both teams around the 20.24-27 type of game. The winner kick a field goal to end the game. That's how I see this game playing out. All right, Sunday night football, or Sunday night football, yeah, I guess if you want to call it that, because mainly this Patriots team really just is not that good. So I'm not even going to sugarcoat this. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. I got the Broncos winning. The Broncos don't win, then let's just be honest. If the Broncos don't win this game, they don't deserve to be in the playoffs. We talked about them last week being a team that might need to be on the lookout for going into the postseason. Could be a team that can maybe upset a team in the postseason. But if you do not take care of business at home, I am going to have to hop off that bandwagon a lot sooner. And I'm talking about a lot sooner as in right now. I know the NFL is the best of the best. We have the best coaches, best players, all that. But there should be no reason why you lose a 7-point favored game against a very bad Patriots team on Sunday night primetime football. So that's it. That's all. Let's go ahead and wrap it up tonight with Christmas Day games. We have Raiders versus Chiefs. You got Giants versus Eagles. You got 49ers versus Ravens, which could be the game of the year, the game that everybody's anticipating, the game that could be the stocking stuffer type of game to send you in tonight after this game is over with and bring you good tidings and cheer. Let's start off with the Super Bowl for the Raiders this game. Yes, I actually do have the Raiders in the upset. I have the Raiders beating the Chiefs because, unfortunately, this is the Raiders Super Bowl. Like, that's really how I look at it. That's how I'm pretty sure most people look at it. If you are a part of the Chiefs, you look at it like, yeah, these bums are bums. We don't care if we lose to them or win or beat them. They're not going to be in the playoffs anyway, so who cares? That's honestly how I see Raiders are 6-8 at the moment. On the outside looking in, but in reality, nobody expects the Raiders to make the playoffs, and if they do, they're not going to do anything, just like they did last year. So, with that being said, I do have them winning their own little Super Bowl. They can enjoy their Super Bowl. We'll see another Max Crosby smoking a cigar meme, and I mean by cigar, I don't mean an actual cigar that cigar aficionados smoke. Yeah, I know what type of cigars I'm talking about, so we'll go ahead and move on from there. Giants, Eagles, of course, anytime I look at this matchup, I always think of Deshaun Jackson returning the punt to beat the Giants after being up on the Eagles by 27. I think it's 27-0 at one point in time. What a hell of a way to lose a game if you're the Giants. And this is going to be more of the same when it comes to the Eagles taking care of business. 13.5-point favorite. Tommy, the Italian Da Vinci. Don't think he'll be able to take care of business against the Eagles. This is going to be very short and sweet. You got the Eagles taking care of business at home. Ravens 49ers. This is the game here that everybody and their mama's been waiting on. If you're a Ravens fan, we already know who you're picking, right? If you're a 49er fan, we already know who you're picking, right? So there's no surprise there. But for everybody else that are not fans of these teams, I think about three out of four people will pick the 49ers, and that's completely understandable. You're not wrong. I understand. But there's going to be some people that are going to pick the Ravens, and rightfully so, because I think the Ravens can find a way to win this game if they manage the ball, control the ball, create turnovers, and that defense. The defense has to get to Brock Purdy. If the defense is not getting to Brock Purdy, it's going to be a very, very long day. and the 49ers probably going to win this game very handily. But if the Ravens can shake up some things on defense, be interesting to see how this plays out. There's also could be maybe a Super Bowl 58 preview to a game that we might see in about another month and a half or so. So we'll see how this all plays out. At the moment, I do have the 49ers winning this game. For me, this is a show me game for the Ravens, a prove it to me type of game when it comes to how real are y'all really. I think the Ravens are the cream of the crop of the AFC right now. I think they are the best team in the AFC. But this is a great opportunity to showcase your talents to the rest of the NFL, to show everybody that, yeah, take us seriously the same way y'all taking the 49ers seriously. And if that is the case, then, hey, we got us we're going to have us a damn good Monday Night Football slate to end us on Week 16. And, of course, we'll follow back up with everybody on Tuesday to recap Week 16. Unfortunately, I don't have any prize picks for today because I'm busy getting my daughter's birthday party ready in about a couple of hours. So with that being said, I'm going to leave y'all with this. Have a great Merry Christmas Eve to everybody out there. I hope nothing but greatness for everybody that tunes in to XTalknIsh. We appreciate y'all. As always, we'll be back the day after Christmas, 26th, on Tuesday at 9 o'clock Central Time, 10 o'clock Eastern Time. Y'all have a great rest of the day, and Merry Christmas.